Hi, this is Richard Davis, President and Advisor at Team Room More Hope and Growth, and today I'm coming to you from Kremenchuk, Ukraine. So I've just finished up 4 days of teaching at the Kremenchuk Evangelical Seminary, which you see behind me, as I was invited here last year, but unfortunately with my recovery from surgery on my neck, it prevented me from being here then. But I've been able to work with the rector of the Evangelical Seminary named Ivan, and we've been able to work together about what it is that we should be bringing here to be able to teach on all the lessons that we have at Team Room More Hope and Growth. So looking at the schedule, looking at how much time that we have, we've been able to select 13 lessons that I was able to come here over the course of 4 days to be able to just share with those that are here, which we had several chaplains. We also had staff from the seminary, but we also had military spouses. And so we've been able to sit down and being able to walk through these lessons, share stories of those of American combat veterans, but also just hear the stories of the Ukrainian combat veterans, their military and the spouses. And so we've been able to walk through these principles about what it is about hope and growth and why it's so important for combat veterans and their families. And so we've been able to have these good discussions, honest discussions, but also heartbreaking discussions. Has had a young woman who is now widowed, as she was sharing about her husband who was killed in combat, and that she had received all of his belongings. And amongst those belongings was a small Ukrainian patch. So she wanted to be able to give that to me, and if I would carry that patch wherever I traveled, as that patch was something for her. It just kept her close to her husband. But her and her husband also had dreams. They had dreams of traveling around the world to be able to see different things. So she asked if I would carry that patch. It truly was an honor. It was just one of those moments where you just have to pause and just think about how gracious the Ukrainian people are and their hearts for those that are coming here. So I humbly accepted the patch, but I asked if she would write her name and her husband's name on that patch. So wherever I go and you see pictures of it, that you'll see Maxim and Liza that they're traveling with us. And so I'll be able to send them back and just be able to just share about those journeys. But we've had many discussions over the course of the week through those 13 lessons, being able to talk about the challenges that many veterans face, but also about sticking with the principles of growth and that there is hope after combat, that you can grow after what you've experienced. And so that's what we've been able to talk about with the American combat veterans experience, but also about here of those I've already seen in previous times. This is my 6th time in Ukraine and already hearing stories of incredible growth. And so being able to share what's happening in other locations, some of the ministries that are taking place, has been very encouraging. So this week was filled with a lot of food, with a lot of laughter, but also a lot of good discussions. And so I complete this week is having church services in the morning, and then I'll be leaving for Kyiv, as I have another week where I'm going to be having discussions with many people there and also with another church about what it is Team Room More Hope and Growth provides. So I want to thank you. Thank you for supporting Team Room More Hope and Growth. It's because of your donations that you allow me to be able to journey here, be able to travel to Ukraine, to be able to share these lessons, as these lessons have been asked about, many of them coming here to be able to say, we want to understand a little bit more how it is working with our combat veterans and their military families. And so I want to thank you for supporting what I do here in Ukraine, but also with the American combat veterans as I travel and speak with our combat veterans, but also with the churches there in the United States. So again, thank you for supporting us, Team Room More Hope and Growth. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. I was here on May 14th when Ukraine suffered one of the largest attacks since the ground war started. And here in Kremenchuk, there was a lot of gunfire, there was a lot of explosions. And just a reminder that the brave defenders that are standing there around the towns to be able to shoot down drones, but also on the front lines to just repeal this evil that's poured across their borders. So continue supporting Ukraine, continue supporting those that you know that have come back and they are actually seeking refugee status in the United States, and being able to pray for them, but also be able to encourage them. Is that the people in Ukraine are fighting for their freedom, they're fighting for their nation, their culture, but they're also fighting for faith. And so I want to thank you again for standing with Ukraine and supporting those like myself and others that are coming over here to be able to support them in their time of great need. So again, thank you for supporting Team Room More Hope and Growth. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. Thank you for caring for the warfighter and their family. So take care and God bless.